Join me as I review my May 2025 Azure purchases and make a little bit of Italian dressing. Welcome to White Shadow Fare. Make it homemade and make it with love. So I started off with buying these gallon glass jars for $18.77. I got a set of 4 of them, giving those a 5 out of 5. Gallon jars are so useful. And during my last Azure purchase, I purchased these tops that go onto the wide mouth jars. I don't know why I ordered the lids, but not the jars, but here we are. That came in a 6-pack for $4.50. That was a good purchase, at 5-star review there. Next off, I bought some more organic spelt, 25 pounds for $33.13. I'm giving that 5 stars. I did not open it up to look at the spelt, but I'm going to assume it was as clean as the last time. I bought some organic brown rice, 25 pounds for $57.17. Felt that was a little bit expensive, so I'm only giving that 4 stars. I bought 2 jars of this 6-pound glass raw organic clover honey. So it's packed in glass jars, which is nice. A little over $38 per jar, 5 out of 5. This is my second purchase of that, and I bought 2 of them. I bought this roll of food labels that dissolve in water, so I can label my food for $6.64 for 250 labels. Well worth it. And here you can see those labels in use. And when I go to wash them, they will just dissolve right off. Now their onion powder was phenomenal, very powdery, so strong smelling, great. I give that 2 thumbs up, fantastic. I have not ordered too many of their spices before. The tomato powder, though, is a second order for me at $15.26 for a pound. The great part about this tomato powder is it can be used to make tomato sauce and tomato paste. You can add it to soups, stews, and I love adding it to rice. Sucanut, this is my second order of that. It's just a natural sweetener, 5 pounds for $16.51. That is a bargain because it's hard to find in the grocery store. So I'm giving that a 5-star review. I don't know what I was thinking. I ordered for $13.72 a 1-pound bag of bay leaves. A 1-pound bag of bay leaves is enormous. Don't know what I'm going to do with all of them, but they are very nice looking. So I'm giving that 5 stars. If you have any ideas of what to do with extra bay leaves, drop it in the comments below. I purchased some red bell peppers that were dehydrated and chopped up for $17.44. For a pound, I could not buy them at the store and dehydrate them myself that cheaply. And they are beautiful, very tasty. So I placed those in a food processor and finally chopped them for this recipe that we're going to be making. I already had carrots on hand, so I dehydrated those myself, but you can buy them from Azure as well. I believe Azures are cut into cubes. I like the shreds for what I'm doing, and then once again, I just cut them into small pieces for my Italian dressing recipe. And then the last dehydrated thing was green bell peppers. They were diced, dehydrated, they smelled wonderful, $12.71 for a 1 pound. So everybody needs a good Italian dressing recipe, and this is the one that I've been using for years. So to a bowl, we're going to make the Copycat Good Seasons Italian dressing mix. And you can see all of the bad ingredients that are in there. Some things are good, and then there's some things that are not good. So we're going to make this a little bit healthier. Start by adding a 1/2 cup of the diced carrots that I ground up in my food processor, and a 1/4 cup of green bell peppers and a 1/4 cup of red bell peppers. Once again, those were placed in the food processor to make them as small as possible. When you buy those good seasoning packets, you can see they're dehydrated vegetables in there. 1/3 cup of lemon pepper gets added here, 2.5 teaspoons of parsley, and I believe that I added a 1/2 cup of sugar, although I didn't write that down in the recipe. But there is quite a bit of sugar in here. 1/3 cup of salt. Of course, you will add the sugar and the salt to taste. 2.5 teaspoons of black pepper. You need some garlic powder, 5 teaspoons of that. 5 teaspoons of onion powder, and that's the onion powder that I just got from Azure. Love it. It smells so good. So I just gave it a quick mix. Then I'm going to throw it in the food processor, which I already used to dice up some of those dehydrated vegetables, just to kind of get everything more finely ground. And this makes a big batch that will be perfect for later on, so that I can make some small batches of seasoning. And this batch will last me the majority of the summer. If you have a big family, it might not last you as long, but there are just 3 of us that are eating dinner here most nights. So I just gave that a good grind, and then I'm going to add it to a glass jar. Make my life a little bit easier so that I can see it. And I do like to dehydrate the vegetables every year. You're going to pour it into a container, and I always write on the outside of my container how to go about making the salad dressing from this. So that's all there is to making the copycat salad dressing. 4 tablespoons of the mix plus 1 cup of oil of your choice and a half a cup of vinegar of your choice will make your salad dressing. But this is what I do with it. So this is kind of a second part of that. So you're going to add 3/4 of a cup of a neutral oil. I used avocado oil. To this, you are going to add vinegar of your choice. I am using red wine vinegar. You need 1/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons of vinegar, and I just kind of overflowed my vinegar source there. I'm going to add the seasoning that we just made. If you were doing this at home and you didn't have that, you could buy the good seasonings. So 2 tablespoons of that. A heaping teaspoon of Italian seasoning, the kind that you buy at the store that has the oregano and everything, oregano and basil, and then 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Go a little bit light, and you can always taste it from there. And then stick this in either in a blender or with an immersion blender. You're going to blend it up real good, and the nice part is it gets emulsified, and so that's got kind of a creamy texture when you're pouring it on, and you don't have to worry about it separating. So go ahead and give it a taste. If you need to add more salt or more pepper or something, that's the time to do it. And then I just pour this into an old bottle that I had on hand, stick it in the refrigerator, and we have it for salads for the upcoming week. So I probably make 2 of these bottles every week because we eat salad so much in the spring and summer. And you can see the little flecks floating around in there. It is so good. That Dijon mustard, fabulous. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. So thank you for joining me at White Shadow Fare. I hope you'll give this one a try.